Action Figures Resource actionfiguresresource.com.
A collecting guide to Jurassic Park toys by Action Figure Resource. Toy dinosaurs have been a fixture of our childhood for pretty much all of us, so the Jurassic Park franchise of tie-in figures with the extremely high-profile summer blockbuster movies is something of a no-brainer in terms of success. Many thanks to jptoys.com for help with a lot of the details here. There have been various generations of figures, the first few directly linked to the original movies, but several more emerged as well in the interim years before Jurassic World. It began in 1993 with this series from Kenner, the same company that bought us the vintage Star Wars line and various other movie, comic and animated show figure lines throughout the 80s. These launched in the summer that the first movie came out. Likenesses were pretty loose, and nearly all the human figures came with an elaborate snare weapon designed to trap the dinos. Net launcher, backpack, grappling hook, snare tranquilizer, rocket launcher, tranq spray, nuclear smart bomb. There was Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, Tim Murphy, Robert Muldoon, and Dennis Nedry, so you knew that the dinosaurs were going to get at least one good meal. Each of these figures came with a baby animal to fill out your park with more wildlife and increase play potential. On the side of the animals you got a Velociraptor, a Dilophosaurus, the spitting kind, a Triceratops, and the king, or indeed queen, of all dinosaurs, a Mama T-Rex. As well as a smaller young T-Rex, so that kids with lower budgets could get their hands on a Rex that would still be in scale with the rest of the figures. In addition, there were some dinos not featured in the movie, like a Dimetrodon, a Pteranodon, a pair of sprinting Coelophysis, and a Stegosaurus, though curiously not the Gallimimus shown in the movie, or the Parasaurolophus glimpsed in that early scene. Nor did the immense Brachiosaur make an appearance in this first line, as presumably it would have been extremely costly. This is one of those rare action figure lines that will actually teach you something as you collect. There were, however, an electronic spitter and raptor rounding out the line. There were also 3 vehicles, the Jungle Explorer, Bush Devil Tracker, and Capture Copter, along with the Command Compound. These figures were released again the following year in 1994 with recoloured clothing and slightly more movie-accurate head sculpts, and Ian Malcolm was added at last to the assortment of humans. Despite all the elaborate weaponry, the imperative was on the humans to keep our beloved, albeit dangerous, dinosaurs safe and protected, so Kenner upped the stakes by adding in all new dinosaur poachers named Evil Raiders, dubbing the good guys Dinosaur Trackers, which was by default a lot less aggressive. These baddies had names like Jaws Jackson, Harpoon Harrison, Skinner, and Dr. Snare. The dinosaurs in this second series had more electronic features, the Gallimimus got a look in at last, and a lot more in the way of restraints and dinosaur holding gear were included. This second series was on shelves for less time, and with no direct movie tie-in that year, coupled with the fact that they were largely repackaged remakes, sold less, which means they're a lot harder to find on the secondary market today. 3 years passed. Kids and adults still love dinosaurs. Spielberg went back into Jurassic Park's mythos and delivered The Lost World. Cinema audiences weren't anywhere near as blown away, but a brief window of popularity prior to release spurred the interest in the toys again, making this second couple of waves very successful. Kenner had been brought up by Hasbro by this point, but the original chunky, colourful, play-focused figure style was retained. Again, an assortment of 7 humans and 16 dinos revisited the popular species. Notably, the Parasaurolophus, glimpsed briefly in the first film, finally got a toy. The Pteranodon, which featured in the original line, got a brief bit of screen time at the end of the second film to go with its new version. Also, the Spinosaurus, which would star in the third film, appeared here in toy form, although notably very different in physical appearance. West Wing fans rejoice, for here may be the only action figure ever of Richard Schiff. Again, there was a second series that sold in lower quantities and fetches more on the secondary market among collectors. A year later, and the 1990s had their inexorable effect upon the line. It was reimagined as Chaos Effect, with wild and crazy colours and mutated dinosaurs with only the most tenuous links to the films. These are slightly more sought after for collectors trying to get hold of everything. A follow-up named Night Hunters was planned for 1999 with glow-in-the-dark paint schemes, but Hasbro scrapped this as it seemed too desperate a move. Instead, Hasbro went with a line of repaints that brought it closer to the movies again, named Jurassic Park Dinosaurs. In 2001, Jurassic Park 3 emerged, bringing the movie series to a sudden and dismal close for 14 years. The toy line had much more of a Hasbro feel, with shorter 3.75-inch figures and harder plastic. Now, the star of the show was of course the Spinosaurus, who, with her first appearance on screen, fought and fairly easily killed our beloved T-Rex. This was of course intended to sell Spinosaurus toys like the proverbial hotcakes. However, it ended up as something of an own goal for the movie, which, far from making us love and fear this new apparently superior creature, actually made most of us kinda hate her. Ultimately, in the later years, in promoting this movie, the Spinosaurus logo was switched out for the classic Rex. Notably, the Brachiosaurus finally got a figure, though it was considerably smaller than a scale one would be. Many dinosaurs from the first Kenner series onwards showed off something called dino damage, which replicated the kind of savage wounds depicted less in the movies and more in our childhood dinosaur books. Mexico got a hybrid line that repackaged Jurassic Park dinosaurs from 1999 with Jurassic Park 3 packaging. Then in 2004, Jurassic Park Dinosaurs got an unexpected second wave exclusive to KB Toys. This was followed by a third wave. Again, most of these were repaints, but some, like this baby Triceratops, were all new. Some of the most sought after are the Camo Extreme line, which still tied in with Jurassic Park 3 and was discontinued before mass distribution. Some cases did reach toy stores, which makes these repaints very much the mosquitoes in amber for the avid dino collector. In 2009, Hasbro released a line that harkened back to the earliest figures and simply called Jurassic Park. Again, it featured repaints and 2 packs of various fighting dinos packaged together. This line didn't sell too well, most likely because it had been 8 years since a movie, 16 years since a great movie, and once again because it was full of repaints. 2011 was the year Hasbro's Jurassic Park license lapsed, and they cancelled 2 lines, one of which was a second run for their infant-focused Jurassic Park Jr., and the other ran far closer to G.I. Joe. Then in 2015, at long last, a new movie emerged, and a full and original run of Jurassic World dinosaurs stampeded out onto shelves. These included the first Jurassic Park Lego kits. After all these years, and with renewed life in the franchise and toy lines, I personally hope to see a line of absolutely movie-accurate, superposable dinosaurs, all made within the same scale, with the adult collector in mind. Of course, that would make the Brachiosaur several $100s of mountainous plastic, but a limited run could make them the crown jewel for avid dino collectors. We hope you have enjoyed this collector guide. Be sure to check out Action Figure Resource for a veritable toy museum of information. I've been Alex Shaw. Please do rate and subscribe, and next up, I'll be tackling the Terminator.